Can you hear me? There we go. I have two questions, if I may. Firstly, for the Ambassador, you've said that the North is losing enthusiasm for the transition, and the South, the global South, is pushing ahead. But is that really fair? Haven't all countries, North and South, been preoccupied? We've had now the UK and EU NDCs. And for both of you, how would you describe China's role on the global stage and here? Thank you.
Yeah, I think I was referring to the fact that developed countries are already countries that have a balanced level of development, of social development, and economic development, and so they look at the transition in a different way than a country from the South. A country from the South is building everything at the same time. The rich world started with education in the 19th century, then health, then housing, then workers' rights, then one thing after the other. The developing countries have all these agendas at the same time. And on top of it, have the agenda of climate change. So it is logical that in developing countries, some sectors go faster than others. There's not that uniformity, that development, that the strong basis of development exist in developed countries. So I think that the absence of the US, some reluctance and complexity in the way that some other developed countries are dealing with climate have opened some space for the world to see what developing countries are doing. They may not be doing something totally uniform, but they are doing some amazing things at the same time that they still have some problems. So I'll take the example of Brazil, it's easier for me. So we have still a level of poverty that we were fighting. But at the same time, we have, for instance, Embrapa, that is the most advanced center for development of tropical agriculture in the world. So one thing lives with the other thing. And I think that lately the world has seen how many progresses there are in different sectors depending on the developing countries. So I think it's very important that we expose these successes of developing countries. So you don't need to only do what you need to do if you can do it uniformly. You can do it sector by sector, and I think that it will be a wonderful exercise for the world to understand how some countries that maybe you wouldn't expect have achieved extremely quickly some fantastic progress. Uruguay, in a few years, became now 99% renewable in its electricity. Kenya is in the same line. So there are many good news from developing countries, but they come in a different way. They come from specific points. And I think this is a very important moment for the world to see that developing countries are doing a lot. And they would do, this is a proof that they would do enormously more if they had financial resources.
Thank you. We're going to try with new devices. So just for the books, the questions came from Victoria Seabrook from Sky News. The gentleman in the first row.
Thank you. Lucas Parolin from Argus Media. It's a question to all of you. You mentioned that the agenda was agreed upon yesterday. What items had to be left out? What items had to be left out? Quais itens ficaram de fora, embaixador?
I think I will ask Tulio to explain that, since he was chairing the meeting yesterday in which the agenda was agreed.
Thank you very much. So we had 8 agenda item proposals, and 4 of them were forwarded to, they were not included in the agenda, but with the understanding that they are going to be considered in presidency consultations that we are going to start immediately. At the same time that we also have on Wednesday a presidency stock-taking plenary open to observers to see how they go. And these 4 agenda items are on 9.1, on unilateral trade measures, on BTRs, and on NDCs. On special needs and circumstances of Africa, another item, we are also going to have presidency consultations, another presidency consultations on a new agenda item proposal on mountains, and we had the flexibility from the PNG on the agenda item around implementing the GST, and the agenda item on health and climate was forwarded to be considered under existing agenda items on adaptation.
The lady in the second row, in the middle.
Hi, I'm Alice Martins. I'm from Amazonia Vox.